I didn't lose my marriage. I escaped it. But not before I found out I was pregnant with something they were willing to trade my life for. This is the part I never told anyone. 2 weeks after the deliverance, I fainted while washing dishes. I thought it was stress. The prayer woman touched my stomach and froze. "How far along are you?" she asked. "I'm not pregnant." Her silence scared me more than demons ever did. At the clinic, the doctor smiled. 6 weeks. 6 weeks. So the nightmare started 6 weeks ago. The scratches, the river dreams, the chanting in my sleep. Everything started when that child began growing inside me. And suddenly, I remember something my husband whispered on our wedding night. After this, everything changes. That night, I dreamed I was standing in a black river again. But this time, I was heavily pregnant. Women in wedding gowns and surrounded me, humming softly. An eyeless old woman touched my stomach and said, "This one is the payment." I woke up sweating, and I felt movement, too violent for 6 weeks. It felt like something trying to turn inside me, not a baby, something away. When the prayer house found out I was pregnant, everything shifted. Before, they shouted and rebuked. Now, they whispered and calculated. One night, they locked the doors, light white candles, placed oil on my stomach and began chanting. Not prayers, chants. The prayer woman leaned down and whispered in my ear, "You can't break this covenant, but we can redirect who benefits from it." Redirect? That word changed everything. I realized they didn't want to save me. They wanted to control what was inside me. The next morning, I overheard her on the phone. "He already paid half," she said. "If the child survives, the wire transfers to us instead." Paid. Half. Wealth. My husband didn't just marry me. He offered me. And the prayer house wasn't rescuing me. They were renegotiating my womb. I felt sick, not spiritually, emotionally. I loved him. He was my best friend, and I was an investment. When I confronted him, he didn't deny it. They promised me power, he said. They said your bloodline carries favor. Favor? You were chosen before we even met. I felt something inside me shatter. Every memory, every laugh, every promise calculated, even our proposal location near the river. That night, the pain started. Sharp, twisting, burning. I collapsed on the floor, screaming. The air turned cold. The shadows came back, but this time I wasn't afraid. I was furious. I put both hands on my stomach and screamed, "I refuse to be your gateway." The pain intensified. Then suddenly, silence. Complete silence. I thought I lost the baby. At the hospital, doctors ran scan. One doctor frowned. There was a pregnancy, she said, but there's nothing now. No miscarriage issue. No bleeding. No medical explanation. Just gone. Like it had never been there. But I felt something leave me that night. Something heavy. Something that didn't feel fully human. A week later, the prayer house shut down suddenly. The prayer woman disappeared. The elders scattered. And my husband, he was found near the river, screaming that the transfer failed. That word again, transfer. So that was when I realized something even darker. Maybe the covenant wasn't just about sacrifice. Maybe it was about lineage. Maybe what was growing inside me was meant to carry something ancient. And when I refused, it couldn't stay. For weeks after, I dreamed of a little boy standing in the river calling me mother, but his eyes were completely black. And every time I reached for him, he smiled. Not every marriage is love. Not every church is safe. Not every pregnancy is innocent. Sometimes betrayal doesn't look like violence. It looks like vows. It looks like prayer. It looks like protection until you realize you were the offering all along. So, if you read this far, you felt it. Comment part 3 if you want the story of my bloodline and why I was chosen. Share this with someone who thinks spiritual manipulation can't happen in modern marriages. And tell me honestly, would you have stayed and tried to save him? Just drop your opinion in the comment section. Thank you.